Hello, friends. Welcome to your reading. My name is Paul. I'm so glad you could make it. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. It really does help out the channel. Now, this is a general message for Leo. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Queen of Wands. You are very ambitious right now. The Queen of Wands is somebody that is really fired up about something. I think you are, you're passionate. I think you're confident. I think that you are, you have a real heat that's coming off of you right now, you know. I feel that you are really engaged in whatever work you're doing, whether it's your job, your career, your vocation, your art, your spiritual practice, your finances, your family, your friends, whatever it is. Like, you really are a hard worker. You're very focused on this. I think you're very fired up about it. The thing about the Queen of Wands here is that they really don't like the satisfaction. You know, they don't. The secret of the Queen of Wands, I'll tell you, is that they the Ten of Cups is their kryptonite, right? This is that part of you that doesn't want the satisfaction and the fulfillment and the dream come true, because then it means that I'm out of this fiery energy. I feel like we're so in the moment with this work. We're doing it for its own sake now. And it almost feels like getting the satisfaction, right? Getting the pleasure, the joy of the accomplishment, the water energy, is going to put the fire out, right? So I feel like right now you're somebody who really is enjoying what they're doing. It's not even really about the goal anymore. It's not about feeling good later. It's just about, I like that. This is fun. This is intense. You know, maybe it's a project at work. Maybe it's your creative work. Maybe it's you like painting and just really getting involved in it. Not even thinking of the goal anymore. Just immersed in that intensity of the moment. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, all right? And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. Path of the Dove, we've got a Queen of Cups. Interesting now. See, now we have the opposing sort of, the opposing views, right? We have the fire and the water now. We've got the Fool. Oh, yeah. We got a 10 of Swords, a Page of Swords, and a 3 of Swords. I think that's interesting, because I feel like what you have done is you have stopped putting all of your hope into the finished product or into the goal or into the result or into tomorrow. That you're saying, if I don't have fun, if I don't love doing the thing I'm doing now, even when it's difficult, if I don't feel that intensity, then I don't want to do it, you know? I think that we realize that that having a goal, let's say, having this reliance that says, I'm going to be happy when I'm done with this, I'm not going to feel good until it's over, tomorrow, we realize that that's going to break our heart at some point, right? That's going to be nothing but sorrow. Okay, so what you're trying to do, I think, is break away from this sort of goal-oriented energy and focus on I think, really the joy and the intensity of what you're doing right now in the moment. Okay? The Queen of Cups is sort of looking at this cup, this holy grail that they're holding, and really saying, like, there's no other place I'd rather be right now. You know, looking at that and realizing that I have a whole ocean out there. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to struggle. This is where I want to strive. This is where I want to feel the intensity. I want to feel that burning heat of my aspiration. You know, not putting it into yesterday, not putting it into tomorrow, but just right now. And that's part of this Fool energy too. Okay, so I think it's actually a rather good sign that we have the Swords cards on either side of you, because you realize that in the past we've sabotaged ourselves by putting too much stock in, the future or the result. That I've cared too much about the result or the product, that I set myself up for failure. I set myself up for heartbreak and sorrow and sadness and really a miserable time. So I think we've broken away from that, and we realize with the Three of Swords here that everything is going to come to an end. And that's why the Queen of Wands, like I said, doesn't want the water energy, doesn't want that Ten of Cups satisfaction, because they know, that part of us, all of us, I think, knows that once I get the finished product, once I'm done with it, then it's kind of like I have to deal with the sadness and the heartbreak of it ending. It's the bittersweet ending of things, right? So I think that this is really us trying to almost acknowledge that everything's going to end. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, it's going to come to an end at some point. I better stop wasting time worrying about that. And I better just get to living. I better just get to this Fool and the Queens of Cups and Wands, right? I better just figure out where I want to be and be there and do that, because time is short. So if we realize the Three of Swords here in the future position, if we realize that everything is going to end, everything is impermanent, everything is going to crumble and decay at some point. Okay? Then, okay, fine. I acknowledge that. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I know what's going to happen. So let's do what we need to do right now. Let's live in this moment. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't plan for the future, okay? I'm talking about that feeling of being where you know you're supposed to be, doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing. See, the Queen of Cups is that person that believes this is where I belong. Again, there's this whole ocean of water out there. They're sitting right on the beach. They have all this, they have infinite water available to them. They only want what's in that cup. And that's kind of like saying, where I am is where I want to be. Because, why waste time living a life that we don't want to live, being in a place where we don't want to be? I think with the Queen of Cups, we have to ask ourselves that. And this might prompt us to make some changes in life. Okay, we maybe see that with the Page of Swords, that we're learning something here. But let's keep going. Let's do the Path of the Serpent here. Knight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, and a Two of Cups. Oh yeah. Two of Cups is you uniting with whatever the Queen of Cups is recognizing is what you really love. If you're not loving your life right now, you need to change it. And perhaps that is our earth energy on this side. Maybe this is the Fool that's saying, hey, you know what? My future is going to be different. I want my present to be different, and therefore we have to look at the future and we have to wonder, like, okay, am I living the life that I want to live right now? This is very interesting energy. Let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card. Whoa, that's not random. This is going to be a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we're just going to set down right over here with Michael Scott right on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, put that in the comments down below, okay? At any point during this message. Now, the other message we had was the Six of Swords. And I think the Six of Swords is really the reconciliation of everything that we see on the path of the dove, because it is, we've got that Three of Swords, we got the 10, we got the Page. It's like we're trying to figure things out. This is us figuring things out. This is us on the journey. This is us taking everything that we've learned in our life and we're saying, I know where I need to go. And I'm using my will, my staff, to take my body, my being, my vessel, the boat. I'm using this staff of my own energy to move my vessel along the path of water, along so that I can bring myself to the place where I really want to be. Okay. So I think that this is real. This is a card about a journey. This is saying that we may be scared, we may be nervous, we may be self-conscious, we may be insecure, we may have doubts, right? But we're not letting those doubts or insecurities steer the boat. Yeah. So I feel like this is the culmination of all this work over here, and what we see as a result, right? If we can put this card right in the middle and say, okay, this is the synthesis of all of this, what it's leading to is this, that you are, I feel that you are changing your life in a way that's going to bring you much more joy and satisfaction in this present moment. Again, the Queen of Wands is somebody that just wants to do what they're doing for its own sake, not for the result, not saying it's okay if I'm miserable now because tomorrow I'll be happy, tomorrow I'll have what I need, tomorrow I'll have the rewards of this, right? If I just work hard and suffer now, then I can have joy tomorrow, right? There is no tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we see is the Three of Swords. Tomorrow is sorrow. Yesterday is already in the trash heap, right? Yesterday is already discarded, and tomorrow is heartbreak and sorrow. The only thing we have is a life that we can live right now. Now, of course, we do have to plan for our future, and I don't want to like give the impression that I'm just living for the moment and I don't care what happens tomorrow. And we have to plan for the future, obviously, and do things that will help to solidify a future for us and whatever, save money and exercise and do all that kind of stuff, right? But the Queen of Wands is saying, like, I can do all those difficult things in life. I can work hard because this is where I really want to be. Okay, and so I feel like this is the energy when we love our life so much, when we love what we're doing, and we're engaged and immersed in the intensity of the moment of our lives, that we're not wishing we were anywhere else. Okay? But I think that's what the Queen of Cups is sort of doing. The Queen of Cups is sort of looking at things and thinking, is this where I really want to be? Is this what I want to be doing and where I want to be doing it? Okay? And I think the answer to that question is going to determine your choices in the next week or so. I think right now there's some soul searching going on. Okay? You have this hardworking, intense energy. And I think right now we're sort of asking the question, that's what the Page of Swords is all about. We're asking the question, is this the kind of intensity and is this the kind of hard work that is this where I belong? Or is this, am I miserable now thinking that maybe tomorrow's going to be better? Okay, let's look around the room. Do we have any major arcana energies? Well, we got the Fool and we got the Hierophant. And the Fool and the Hierophant are very different. The Fool is absolutely living in the moment. The Fool does not care one way or the other what is happening yesterday or tomorrow, just wants novelty. I just want to be, this is kind of an ignorant living in the moment in a way, right? Whereas the Hierophant is kind of, giving us the wisdom and the teaching us something, And in a way, these two cards are very, very much connected. At least in the Dove and Serpent spread, they're very connected. Because this is your desire to just wander, to just live in the moment, to play, to work hard, to just be present here and now. Not lamenting the past, not worried about the future when everything's going to inevitably, decay and return to dust, right? It's very existential. The Fool is just trying to exist in the moment, okay? But the Hierophant is kind of representing the wisdom of all of those encounters that we have, all of those experiences, all of the novelty that we experience in life is teaching us something about ourselves, So I feel like this has really been a learning process for you for the last, probably our whole lives, honestly, but maybe more so in the last year or so. I think it's taught you a lot. And I feel like it's this energy that's saying, The Fool is not just going to be a feather in the wind. Yeah, that there's been a lot of things that happened in your life that made you realize that we can't waste our time on things that are harmful to us. We can't waste our time on relationships or environments or anything really that is not, doesn't speak to our soul, right? And now, so we're after an ideal, right? We're after an ideal. It's easier said than done to kind of live life as the Queen of Wands, But I think you're analyzing it. I think you're thinking more about it. And the Page of Swords is kind of asking those questions of our Queen of Wands. Is this something that you're doing just for its own sake, or is it because you think that there's going to be some satisfaction that comes later? Because again, the Queen of Wands is enjoying just doing the work, doing it for its own sake. The Queen, right? It's a water of fire. The Queen of Wands is enjoying what they're doing right now. I'm just enjoying doing it. Not thinking about tomorrow, not thinking about the result, not thinking about what I'm going to gain from it, just enjoying doing what I'm doing. Okay? There's a passion, there's a fierceness in this intensity, in this work. So this is somebody, especially with the Fool energy, this is somebody that wants to find something in life that I just want to do for its own sake. Now, maybe this isn't a way, the Fool would live their whole life like this, right? But maybe the Queen of Wands is just saying, like, I need to find the thing that I want to do in life just for its own sake, just because I like the hard work. It's like you go to the gym because you love the gym, or because you're just trying to get healthy, or you're just trying to build muscle, or you're just trying to, like, meet people, or you know what I mean? Like, is there a goal there? Or you do it just because you love to do it. It's like the painter who just wants to paint. I love the struggle of painting. I love the sweat. I love the paint everywhere. I love the mess. I love the fury of it. I don't care what it is at the end. I don't care if I sell it or throw it away. It doesn't matter, right? I just want that intensity. So do you have anything in your life that is like that? I think you're realizing either that you do or that you need to. I think the Page of Swords is searching, is asking the questions. Okay, I think the Queen of Cups is trying to feel, trying to find what that Ace of Cups is. The Ace of Cups can be one thing. Maybe this is just like you need that one hobby in your life that you can do just because you love to do it. It's like my wife, she loves gardening. She loves being outside in the dirt, doing the plants, doing the weeds, not for any reason. There's no reason to it, right? Air energy. It's a feeling. It's just because out of all the water and all the beaches and all the world, this is the little cup that I want to have. This is what I'm enjoying. And she's out there gardening, she's doing hard work, getting dirty, digging holes, pulling weeds, planting stuff, and, we'll get some vegetables out of it, and that's always a good thing, of course, there's a purpose to it all, I guess. But she's not doing it because, we need vegetables, There's no end result that is the justification for the path. It's just the path. It's just the work. Does that make sense? So I feel like that's kind of what that's what you're looking for. Or that's what Spirit wants you to recognize in your life, whether you have it right now or you don't have it right now. The Page of Swords is you asking that question. Do I have something in my life that I can do just because I love to do it? Is our whole life like this? Do we just love our life doing what we're doing? Yeah, I'm hoping that it makes money. I'm hoping that, I can save money and I can retire one day and all this, I'm hopeful for the future. But that's not what I'm basing my present day, here and now behaviors on, right? We can't base our current here and now behaviors on what may happen tomorrow. Okay? So I think the Page of Swords is really trying to learn something, investigating and asking the questions. How am I spending my time? What am I doing with my life? Do I have something that I can just be fired up and passionate about? That isn't like, I don't know, that really, the phrase that keeps coming to me is that there's no reason for it. There's no reason to do that. Do you have anything that just seems like a fool out there playing? The fool is someone that has no reason. You say, hey, fool, why are you doing that? No reason. Or I don't know, I'm just doing it. There's no reason for it. And I feel like that's why we have we're surrounded with this air energy on the path of the dove. Because there's always been a reason for everything. Everything that we do, there's a reason for it. Why are you doing that? Well, because it's going to bring me something tomorrow, because it's going to result in something, because I'm going to get a paycheck, because I'm going to have a piece of art at the end, because I want to make a piece of music, or because I want the relationship, or because I want the nice cars, or whatever it is. There's always a reason for everything. And I think when we base our lives on those reasons, right? It's sort of like we're stabbing ourselves in the back. We're always going to be disappointed. There's always going to be something that gets sort of ruined because, one, we realize that we're not happy, that getting the thing didn't make us happy really permanently. Okay? Or we realize that, yeah, you know what, I can do my work because I want to earn money, but then I realize that I'm just going to have to spend the money. And I got to go right back to making more of the money. It's never going to end. It's going to keep, the cycle's going to continue. So the Queen of Cups with the energies here, and the Fool, I think we're asking, what do I have, or what do I need, or what things do I have to change? Where do I have to go? What journey do I have to take to find the thing that I just want to do for its own sake, and not because there's some kind of result, reward waiting at the end? What kind of work do I want to do for no reason? What kind of race do I want to run where there is no finish line? And there doesn't need to be one. I think the 10 of Swords in your background here is your sort of realization that, you know what, I've had those kinds of ambitions in life. And again, I think you're a very ambitious person. Like I said at the beginning, you're very fired up. You have a lot of ambition. You love to work hard. But I think with the 10 of Swords, we're realizing that to work hard for these sort of long distance rewards or something is not always going to be conducive to, let's say, living our best life. And again, I don't want to give the impression that we're not thinking of long-term goals. We have long-term goals. We need to have long-term goals. But we need to have something in our life that is not just goal-oriented, that is not just doing it because there's going to be a consequence that I need later on. Doing something for its own sake. So I feel like we've broken out of that, we've broken out of that bird cage in a way. Yeah, we've stopped kind of sabotaging ourselves by always putting our faith and our hope in something that may never come. And so it's saying, well, okay, I'm willing to just sacrifice my life now, hoping one day it'll get better, hoping one day I'll have fun, hoping one day I'll feel good, I'll feel joy, I'll feel love, or I'll have the relationship I want. Maybe that's kind of the Two of Cups there at the end. And we realize that has been, we would have been sort of driving ourselves to an early grave there. Okay, taking that dirt nap. It's sort of a betrayal of ourselves. So now instead of that, now we're on, this is someone maybe who's faked their own death, right? And now they're on this new journey to a new land. Finding out maybe this is you living on the beach. I feel like this is somebody who's discovering what they need in their life that they can do just for its own sake. And this is you taking that journey. This is the answer to the question, and now this is you making it happen. Okay, with that Fool kind of energy, with a freedom, with an idea of kind of taking risks. And it's sort of a trust fall with the universe, The Three of Swords in that future position, like I said, is the realization that everything's going to lead to heartbreak and suffering eventually. And I don't mean to be a pessimist. Okay? I think that in every relationship eventually will end. Right? One of us are gonna pass into spirit. That we may earn a bunch of money, but that can be gone any minute. right? Not that everything will turn to sorrow, but that it can. And so this is us recognizing that I cannot put my faith in tomorrow. I've got to find something that I need today. Right? The future's no place to place your better days, right? That came up in the collective reading as well. And that 3 of Swords is that kind of thing, that our doing everything for a particular reason. Well, what if that reason doesn't come? What if you put if you put all of your energy into doing something thinking that, okay, it's going to work, I'm going to win, I'm going to get the success, but then, I fail. All that time was wasted, right? No, it wasn't wasted. I think it taught you something, Hierophant. But I think what it's teaching us is that we need to make sure that even if we fail, even if we lose, even if we don't get the result, that this was still worth it, that this was still, it was a win no matter what. Because that's what the Queen of Wands is doing. Doesn't care about the win, doesn't want to finish the race, doesn't want the big satisfaction at the end, because that means the work is over. Find something in your life that you want to do forever and have it never be finished. And have it, and even if it works out at the end or not, who cares? You're doing what you want to be doing. Okay? That's the kind of path that the Fool is looking for. Let's talk about the path of the Serpent. And as we talk about these cards, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are totally free. So your general energy is the Knight of Pentacles. This is a Capricorn energy. This is kind of like we're seeing the sum total of all of our ambitions. We're looking into the future. We're thinking, who am I? Where am I? And what am I doing? This is the projection of long-term goals. Long-term, medium-term, short-term goals. We're looking at the mountain and we're thinking, okay, how do I get to the top? I got to go through these pathways and I got to get there. I got to go through the struggles, the hardships, and I can get to the top. And that's your general energy. Again, very ambitious. You have a tremendous tenacity and endurance. You have tremendous perseverance. Okay? Spirit's not telling you to not have goals. Spirit's telling you that you better enjoy the journey, because you may never get to the summit of this mountain. If the only reason you're here is because you want to get to the top, well, you got a rude awakening coming. You may not ever get to the top. There may be no top to it. There may be no summit. Okay, so I think we're learning about our commitments, learning about our ambitions, and instead of basing those commitments and those ambitions on the potential outcome, we're basing them on what would it be like if this never had an end? Then would I be okay? It's like you get into a relationship with somebody and you say, okay, well, that's fine. And then, 20 years and I'm done, right? That seems ridiculous, right? No, you're getting into it because it's the relationship that matters. It's the journey together. It's the time spent together that matters. Not some end result. It's not a sentence. It's not a prison sentence, So I think we're looking at life in this new way. And I think really big things are happening for you. I think we're realigning ourselves to what really is truly important. And we're trying to find those things and trying to ask ourselves the question, do I like the journey? Or do I just like the destination? Okay? If we're living our life only for tomorrow, tomorrow will never come. I said this last week, right? There was a liquor store I used to go to. There was a sign in there that said, it said, free beer tomorrow. Right? Everybody would go and be like, free beer tomorrow? Yes, I can't wait. I'm coming back tomorrow. And then tomorrow, no, it's still tomorrow. The sign doesn't change. It's always tomorrow. Tomorrow is always going to be tomorrow. So if we don't like where we are today, we need to find out why and what we can do about it. And we need to get ourselves where we can say, right now, I am happy and content. The work I do, the life I live, this is perfect. If tomorrow's even better, then yeah, I'll take it, right? If tomorrow meets with some disaster, well, that's okay. It happens. I can't predict the future, but I need to make sure that I enjoy my life right here today. with our friends, our family, the work that we're doing, our creative engagements, our spiritual practices. Okay? We're not placing all of our faith in tomorrow. Because if we do that, we're opening ourselves up to tremendous heartbreak and disappointment. So I think this general energy is good. We have to have long-term goals. Yeah. Let's make sure that we can appreciate and enjoy the journey, and let's assume that we'll never get to the goal. Right? Let's assume that if I will never get to that goal, would I still be doing what I'm doing? Would I still want to be doing this? Yeah. Let's say at least in some dimension of life, if I wasn't getting a reward for this, if I just had to do this every single day for no money, for no fortune, no fame, no bigger muscles, would I still do it? Yeah. I might have to do other things in order to pay the bills, but I would still do this. Right? This is something that I enjoy doing regardless of what it's leading to tomorrow. Tomorrow it could all go away. Okay? And I think the Hierophant is trying to show us that. The Hierophant is, especially the Hierophant in the environment, it's an interesting place for that card. It's the life lessons. The only way that we can come to any deeper realization about who we are and what kind of life we want and about what is important to us is by living our life and seeing what happens, seeing the way things sometimes fail, seeing the way sometimes our entire journey, that Ten of Swords, is a learning experience. We've all put all of our eggs into a particular basket, and the basket gets overturned or stolen or taken away, or we lose it, or it just doesn't happen. All of us have had plans that have fallen through, things that we have tried to do that have failed. Well, if you really care about it, you really want it, you really enjoy this, doesn't matter if it failed. In some ways, the fail just makes me want to work harder, makes me want to do it more. Okay? That this isn't going to lay us low and ruin us. This is the card of somebody who's ruined, really, right? I mean, they're stabbed in the back 10 times. Usually we do this to ourselves because it's an unconscious assumption that I hate what I'm doing. The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to get something out of it. But then when you do get something out of it, it reinforces that. Okay, good, it worked. But those times where you don't get anything out of it, it's a ruin, right? It's a sorrow, it's a heartbreak. And the Hierophant is trying to teach us that there is more to life than that. Sometimes the Hierophant is kind of represents society and culture, represents all those forces outside of you that are trying to teach you what you should want, what you should be aspiring to. And I wonder if you're kind of perceiving that the outside world has been teaching us culturally, maybe even with our upbringing, family, just with society, with the world, right? Teaching us that you don't get to enjoy what you're doing. The only reason why you are doing the things you're doing today is to create the thing tomorrow, to produce something tomorrow. And I wonder if that's something that we're being taught, that, hey, you know what? Everybody's miserable. Everybody's suffering. Nobody gets to be happy, I personally don't believe that. Okay? I think that we can find something. Maybe it's not the job. Maybe it's not the family we come from. We can find something in life that we want to do just for its own sake. Right here, right now. Maybe it's an art form. Maybe it's music or dance or playing the drums. It's something. Maybe it's, maybe you got to change where you live. Maybe if you came home to a home that you really enjoyed, maybe it's by the beach, right? Then all the other stuff in life wouldn't really be so serious. It wouldn't really be so devastating, right? Other things in life, because this is something that you can do just for its own sake. It's almost a reprieve, right, from a lot of the kind of sorrows of life, right? The sufferings of life. So the Hierophant could be a few things. There might be a Taurus person in your life somewhere, okay? But I feel like this is the lessons that we get taught from the world. Yeah. And I think we're starting to understand that we've got to make some changes. We can't be, now, there's nothing wrong with ambition. There's nothing wrong with being willing to suffer today for a better life tomorrow. There's nothing wrong with that. This isn't a judgment. I think this is an awareness that's growing in you that's saying, I need something more than that. I need something that I can do. This fool wants to have an adventure, right? The fool wants to find something that it can enjoy regardless of what the results are of it, regardless of what the outcome is. Something that we can enjoy that doesn't have as its sole reason for being producing something. Okay? We are not here just to produce something. We're here to have an experience. Now, the obstacle there is the Queen of Pentacles. Because the Queen of Pentacles is your future self. And to me, this feels like a card of longing. We don't want to get older, right? We don't want to, in 5, 10, 20 years from now, look back at our life and think, wow, look at all this cool stuff I produced. It was miserable the whole time, but hey, I produced all this stuff. Because this is someone who has their pets, their plants, their people all around them, right? But they're longing for something. There's a sorrow here. There's a yearning for, there's almost a regret in this card. We don't want to have regrets, right? So I think we're understanding in a deeper way what our purpose really is here in this life. And if we don't feel that we're really in the right place where we're living our purpose, where we have those things in life that we want to do regardless of what it produces, regardless of what the outcome is, it's kind of like we're realizing that our future self might be a little upset, you know? This is that card of longing. In all the success of life, they're still like looking at that ace and thinking, I should have done that thing. You know, I should have had the thing I wanted, the relationship, the love, the connection, the creative outlet, the artistic energy. I should have danced more. Like, yeah, I earned a lot of money, but I didn't get to dance. You know, I didn't get to love. All these regrets that we have. Okay. And this is in the position of what you do not want. So this is a message from your higher self, your future self, that says, hey, you know what? Make some changes now to have more love, to have more joy, to have more of this intensity in your life with that Queen of Wands that says, I am just loving what I'm doing right now. I love this intensity and I don't want it to ever end. Have something that makes you feel that way. It's very rare that your entire life will feel that way. Okay, let's be practical here. But we can all find at least one thing in our life that just says, this is so intense, I'm immersed and I'm inflamed here, and I don't want this to ever end. Yeah. And I wonder if that is love for you. And I think that this is really that connection with that thing. It's a person, it's a place, it's a thing, it's an activity. This could be your house by the beach. This could be this is the big change you're making in your life. You're saying, you know what? I need to have more of this. Because you know what? This is the only water energy we have other than the Queen of Cups. Right? We have our majors. We don't even have any fire here, except for the Queen, right? We don't have any, the water. We have air and earth. So we're thinking, we're analyzing what we're doing in life. We're taking a look, we're observing. We're being sort of, I guess, retrospective, introspective, just spective, right? We're just looking around. And we're seeing what our life is. And I think we're realizing that I need more water. I need love. I want to do something that just makes me feel passionate, makes me feel in the moment, where I'm not thinking about tomorrow, I'm not lamenting yesterday, I'm not worried about anything, I'm just enjoying this moment. I need something in my life that makes me feel like I don't want it to ever end. And maybe this is being with a person, maybe this is being with a pet or a plant, maybe this is an art form, dancing, music, singing. Maybe this is painting, maybe this is creation, maybe this is that vocation, that work. It's like someone who's just kind of like, I don't know, kind of reminds me of Office Space, you know. At the end, the guy's just digging a ditch, working construction, or it's a jackhammer, I guess. Not to spoil the movie, but he's just content. Like, this is the work that I'm doing. I'm just in here. It's not about the money that I'm making. Sure, I'm making money. I'm going to pay the bills, but something that we can do for its own sake, not for what we're going to get out of it, not for what we're going to produce. Let's look at the mystery card. I feel like this is where you are orienting your life toward love. That kind of love, right? It doesn't have to be romantic, but it may be. Now, the mystery card, I want, obviously, more love, more water. We have the Six of Swords that popped out, which is you making those changes, coming to the realization and saying, okay, now I'm going to go look for that in my life. Let's see what we have. The Moon. The Moon card is being willing to look at yourself and come to those realizations about what you want, where you are and what you're doing, who you are, right? Where you are and what you're doing. And having the courage to say, things need to change. I need to go on a journey. I need to go on a quest here. Okay. This is the card of change. This is a change between what is known and familiar and what is unknown and unfamiliar. It's the threshold. It's the frontier of your life. It is the cutting edge of your life. It is the edge of the known universe. And you're about to walk through that door into the unknown universe. You've been looking around at where you are. You're very familiar with your current situation. And now we're making a move into uncertainty. We're making a move into the unknown. The Fool is going on a quest. The Fool's going on a journey into this dark, scary forest to say, I gotta find what I'm looking for. I gotta find what I need to feel alive in the moment and not just like, well, tomorrow it'll be better. Tomorrow I'll have the thing. Tomorrow I'll have the, we're on this quest to search for no reason, to search for the kind of anti-reason. I don't need a reason to do it, What do we have in our life that we can just do, that we don't need a reason for it? I'm doing it because I have to. I'm doing it because it pays the bills. I'm doing it because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing it because that's what my parents did. I'm doing it because that's what society tells me I need to do. I'm doing it because I'm going to get stronger or faster, or I'm doing it because I'm, getting something else or producing something because of something. No, I'm just doing it. Doing it for love, doing it for its own sake. Okay. So that Moon card, I think, really does predict big change, going from the known to the unknown. Okay. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do some oracle cards. We'll do an Jing reading. There is a link in the corner and there's a link down below. New readings for Leo are on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.